Sir, I think now you must be able to share your screen. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. So I would like to say good evening, perhaps good morning or good afternoon for other participants from all around the world. Uh, I feel like you did more than just by introducing me. So I will skip this part and I will say that our mission today is to empower you with insights into how to use AI into logistics and manufacturing industries. Okay. But before we start, I would like to take like a quick quiz for all participants. I will try to get the participants' comments, so you are more than welcome to provide your comments. And here I would like just to ask you some questions to get to know you and to know what we are working with. Okay? So if I may kickstart this with uh, how many of you would know which year was the term artificial intelligence first coined? B. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Raja. Exactly, that's what was my impression when I was like doing some background and literature review checking. Uh, it all comes to hit us all after ChatGPT introduced to us and all of these things. But in fact, it began it began in 1956 in a conference in Dartmouth in the United States by John McContry. Okay. So he considers like the father of AI or artificial intelligence. Oh, you said B. Oh, I see. I see. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Raja. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now, moving on. So, how does AI help us in just-in-time manufacturing? On the teams of just-in-time? Is it by increasing inventory stockpiling, or perhaps by reducing overproduction, or slowing down production speed, or maybe by manual scheduling? Okay, so I believe that yes, it's exactly correct. It's by reducing overproduction. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Niraj and Dr. Sharma. So just-in-time manufacturing help us to forecast the demand accurately. By forecasting the demand, we can reduce exactly what we need, the amount we need, and on the time we need. Okay, so that will improve dramatically our waste reduction and the efficiency of the manufacturing. Okay, now if we say which term best defines Industry 4? As we know, Industry 1 kick-started with the steam engine, Industry 2 with like electricity, Industry 3 with, I believe, the computer. Yeah, integration of digital technology into manufacturing. Thank you. Yeah, that's correct. So as you know, Industry 4, a difference from Industry 3, where about using of computer, here we introduce the Internet of Things, AI, robots, and especially big data. Now, which term best defines industry? Oh, I think the question here is missing. So let's pass this one. So how does Industry 4 affect supply chain? Okay, okay, let's see if the most of them are B. So how does Industry 4 affect the supply chain? Is it by increasing lead times or distributing logistic process? By enabling real-time tracking and optimization? C, huh? Or by limiting the global trade? Yes. So Industry 4, it enhances supply chain management through real-time visibility where we can better predict the future and optimize our logistics. This will lead to reducing costs and improve efficiency. Good evening. Okay. What is the one biggest challenge in implementing Industry 4? As we know, is it like the limited availability of the data or perhaps the high cost of new technologies, or excessive manual labor, or perhaps declining consumer demand. Yes, I would like to highlight to remind all participants to rename themselves, okay? So we have here someone saying A, others saying B, while in reality, when it comes to data availability, it uh, it could be correct when it comes to the quality of data. But the main biggest challenge with Industry 4 is the high cost. The high cost of new technology, not only the cost of the, what you call it, the like initial investments or the kickstart investments in the technology, sensors, softwares, other infrastructure, but also the biggest cost comes with the workforce training. Okay. And not only work training, it also comes from the resistance of management and employees and even consumers sometimes. So thank you so much for the quiz. I believe like this will be setting up our ground to start our presentation. So I will straightforward go to present 7 case studies, followed by implemented strategies to see how these case studies, all these case studies, how they did it, how they implemented AI, and how they successfully obtained or get the benefits of AI. And what are the future trends, and what are the challenges, and perhaps some suggested solutions, and our next steps. And most importantly, all of this will be going through to provide some benefits for APC Faculty Development Program. Okay, along with some resources and learning and final thoughts. So I hope I will not take all the time. I hope we enjoy this together. Okay. So our first case studies, or before we go through the case studies, we will be defining our AI-driven predictive analysis in manufacturing industry. So when we say AI-driven analysis or productive or production analysis, it's all about how AI algorithm can analyze historical data. And what I mean by historical data could be very old data or could be in real time, okay? To predict future events. So the idea is we use some AI algorithms on data. This data could be all type of data, could be sensors data, could be big data, to predict the future. So all the idea of AI is that we can predict the future. Okay. So why it matters? Mainly because we can reduce the downtime, improve the quality, and cut cost. And what it means by improve quality means that companies can charge higher with higher quality, can improve the yields. Okay. So I choose to find case study for every case of using manufacturing, or most of the cases of how AI can be used in manufacturing. Okay, starting with predictive maintenance, followed by demand forecasting, quality control, energy management, machine learning, neural networks, and finally with deep learning. Okay. So we will be starting by our electrical, General Electrics. All of you know that General Electrics has so many manufacturing, starting from house appliance like refrigerators, washer machines, into aviation products. Okay. So how they did integrate AI? They simply did utilize some types of AI algorithms to analyze the real-time data coming from sensors in their jet engines and industrial equipments. Okay, so here we are trying to cover the cases of different industries. So in the case of the jet engines, these sensors can collect real-time data. And these data will be integrated to the AI model. Using machine learning models, they identify some patterns and potential failures. before they occur. So just like try to imagine with me something like you are driving your car and it breaks down. How frustrating is that? It stops your, perhaps like delay your meetings, delay your day. You have to deal with so many new things now, so many unpredictable things. Imagine you are in the highway, you need to make a call to bring the car, to tow the car, so many things, right? So imagine that. And at the end of the day, you are going to pay way much extra money to fix your car because now you need to transfer your car through a tow and to pay for all of these things. All of these things cost two things, money and time, right? So imagine that at the end of the day, you are going to pay all of these things to fix your car. Now imagine that you have in your car some sensors to tell you that this component's going to be broken within like 5 hours or 3 hours or 1 day or something like that. With all this knowledge, you can identify these uh, like issues and try to replace the parts before they fail. All of this will improve our schedule proactivity rather than reactivity, right? Or rather than reactively. So they manage electrical generators to reduce the downtime by 25% as AI detects all the issues at early stages. So they schedule the maintenance based on that. That saves a lot of money and millions. They save them in millions, and especially about emergency repairs and minimize distribution. So the idea is not the benefit by only cost savings, but there are different types of savings apart from time. Sometimes these maintenance or these issues predict a high risk to the employees. They may enter through court cases and all these type of complications, right? So somehow using AI can provide preventive measures from all these failures, right? Because most the failures will decrease dramatically. The other thing, they allow this optimized maintenance allows for something called smart maintenance planning. So they reduce anything that called unnecessary repairs. Now all the manufacturers, they have somehow estimated time for the or lifetime by hours for their parts, right? Most of the parts will be replaced even if they have so many future hours of working. But we just follow the manual. And the manual is designed for the optimal conditions. For example, if you are in a cold weather, you might not need as much repairs as in hot weather. But the, what you call it? The manual will be for the optimal scenario, okay? So you can save a lot of unnecessary repairs. And most importantly, increase reliability and meeting their deadlines of delivery. So this is the case of General Motors, how they make millions after implementing AI, especially in predicting the maintenance, like predictive maintenance. Now, moving to another more interesting study is about Coca-Cola. So they seen that Coca-Cola was facing some big issue where vending machines, most of the time, they don't have the product that people really want. For example, people want Coca-Cola black. They go there, they can't find it. They find only the orange or other product. So they can't find all these things. So by taking machine learning algorithms to analyze their sales data from their vending machines, retail outlets, and digital challenge, they manage to analyze their consumer trends and real-time sales data to forecast demand accurately, resulted in real-time forecast of optimized production, ensuring that all the manufacturers they manufacture exactly what they are going to sell. That increased their product availability by over 10%, okay, by accurately predicting their demand and adjusting production accordingly. So in this case, AI reduce overproduction and stockouts, leading to better resource allocation and reduce waste. So by doing so, they saves also a lot of money by not renting all these big stock house for their inventory. Now they can rely on like smaller house, like storehouse for their products. Okay. So the most important thing now, all Coca-Cola consumers, they most of the time they never go to a vendor machine and they find it empty, especially from the most demanded products. That's make consumers sees the company improve their brand loyalty, improve their consumer satisfaction, and just see it as a more reliable product. Okay. Yeah, so this is the case how they save money and they ensure efficiency in their supply chain. Okay. Like for example, back then, their supply chain tracks, they had to carry all their products and go to machine by machine to ensure they have like efficient product. Now they carry before they leave the storehouse exactly what they are going to refill. So the track comes totally empty. You see how they can like reduce the number of track journeys, the number of the size of their tracks, and all of these things come from ensuring product availability accurately. Okay, so this is how Coca-Cola they ensure they forecast their demand. Now moving to more complicated or more advanced quality control at BMW. As you may know, BMW not producing only BMW cars. They also produce some of the most luxurious cars in the world, especially when it comes to Rolls-Royce. As you can see, uh, one part or one paint job in Rolls-Royce could cost uh, perhaps more than 100 BMW cars. Just the paint job. So any deficit, any mistakes in the paint job cost a huge amount of money to the BMW, right? Not only that, it opens a higher competition with China in terms of quality product and luxury products, where China companies, and especially in India, also with Tata, they especially start to introduce all these AI in manufacturing, making the quality of their luxury brands, especially when it comes to Jaguar and Range Rover and other products. So it becomes so competitive market when it comes to quality. So by introducing AI, a computer vision system to inspect components in real time, they ensure the highest product quality possible. This makes them in totally different tier when it comes to quality, making their luxury products even they justify to charge way much more now compared to before the integration of AI. So if you compare their luxury products now, compare like 10 years ago, you can see the huge increase in price, uh, taking off the inflation effect, of course, okay? So they use image recognition, detect microscopic defects, microscopic, such as for paint inconsistency and surface scratches and assembly errors. Microscopic. Can you imagine how they justify their luxury products now? And they use somehow real-time data to quickly analyze image of components and signal operators to take corrective actions on real time, predicting any lag or bottleneck in terms of their production line. So what was the result? They achieved 20% reduction in errors by identifying issue early and improving product quality. Not only they identify the issue, but also they take preventive measurements on real time, right? So that makes their managers focus more on decision making and minimize any waste and any preventing that contents of faulty products. So the total over benefits, they have higher product quality and they reduce the savings by all the errors that might followed. One of the things is BM suffered from so many recalls in the past. Call recalls due to safety measurements, due to warranty claims, quality, even the gaps between the doors. They did a lot of recalls for that. Now, if you look at their products, spotless or almost spotless because of their real-time AI computer vision system they have, and the sensors and cameras. That high rocket increase and enhance consumer satisfaction. Okay? This is the interesting case of BMW. Now, moving to something is a little bit more in different on different level when it comes to doing some like integrating the company policy with some sustainable development goals, with environment, and all of these things, and especially improving their regulatory compliance. Okay, so Siemens, they integrated AI algorithm into manufacturing system to monitor and manage energy use. So what they did, they had some type of cameras and sensors in all the production line, and they see which production line or which line, which product exactly requires more electricity, and which they require less electricity. By doing this, the AI adjusts the energy distribution across all the factory and factory lines based on demand. This avoid the wastage, balancing consumption dynamically. So that resulted in 15% reduction in energy cost, which is a huge and important thing, especially after Europe faced the energy shortage uh, since 2019 and 20. Okay. So not only by they reduce the energy cost, the energy consumption, but also improve their image in terms of sustainability goals, okay? And reduce their emissions and their carbon footprints on plant and all of these things, okay? So overall, they reduce the operational cost, they improve sustainability by reduced energy consumption, which aligns with the global sustainable goals, especially by the UN sustainable goals, and they enhance Siemens environmental compliance, okay? So it's as simple as that. AI-driven decision ensure energy is used only where and when needed. This increasing the overall manufacturing efficiency. Okay, this is one of the most interesting stories that comes or case studies comes from Europe recently. Now we will go through a little bit more advanced and a little bit more complicated integration of AI in manufacturing for the case of Intel. So Intel not only used AI, but they used machine learning. Okay, machine learning algorithm to analyze semiconductor manufacturing lines. They use the same concept of potential issues that might happen. But the difference here, they have immediate adjustment. Okay, this immediate adjustment ensure that in real time changes to equipment settings, temperature, processing speeds to minimize any type of deficits. As you may know, microchips manufacture is highly impacted by the environment temperature, by the clearance level, even small particles of pollution might damage the whole processing line. Okay, so it's like a concealed, requires one of the most advanced and technologies or manufacturing we have now. So you can imagine what type of equipment settings they have, which requires years of studying and ensuring, and no human can effectively try to make the correct decision every single time to adjust the settings. So the way they did it has a huge impact on their manufacturing. But as I see, the main difference here is not only by they predict the deficit, but also by real-time change to settings, temperature, and processing speeds to minimize any type of deficits. Now, what they have achieved 30% reduction in issues related to external factors. 30%. This 30% reflected as increased production yields. So they, especially with the huge demand, and this huge demand created deadline stress to the company. So by doing so, they managed to reduce any types of delays, and especially when they are delay in their shipments, means that they have to give discounts, right? And they reduce the waste, especially when it comes to water waste, and loading for a better resource efficiency. So overall, they, similar to the previous case studies, they have way higher quality products, right? Translated to a more reliable semiconductor chips. They increase the cost efficiency. Fewer defects lead to lower waste, saving cost on raw materials and rework, and real-time adaptation, where they adjust to improve responsiveness and flexibility of manufacturing process. This is the case of Intel, just in short. Now, moving to a little bit more dynamic case for neural networks at Samsung. As you may know, or some of you know, Samsung is not just mobile company. They produce military equipment, they produce house compliance, they involve in networks. Actually, the GDP of Korea might be severely impacted or got a shock to GDP if anything happened to Samsung. So you can see how the huge impact of one company on the entire economy of one country like South Korea. So they must use whatever they can to improve or to ensure they will never face any type of bottleneck or any type of uh, issue related to manufacturing. So what they did, so they employs neural networks to its semiconductor fabrication plants. By doing so, they did this by analyze production data and optimize yield rates. Now they can know what to produce compared to their competitors. Not only that, what time. So whenever their competitors meeting with stress deadlines, they can fill up the gap in the market. Okay. So what they did with this AI models, they process complex production data to detect patterns that affect yield, such as process variations and environmental conditions. As we say, environmental condition means temperature, cleanness, water, quality of water, and all of these things. So by doing this, they also managed to real-time adjustment to equipment settings, minimizing yield loss and ensuring higher production efficiency. So here, the idea of their AI integration is to not only analyze their data, but also their competitors to ensure what to product, to make at the correct time based on the market needs. I think that is very intelligent. And by this, they can work together and not impacting, like improve their competitiveness in the market so much. What happened is a lot of companies, they had to do some types of contracts with Samsung, and these contracts, they are way better off. Samsung in these contracts way better off compared to their competitors. Why? Because they manage to reduce what it called, the delay in delivery, the least compared to their competitors. This is a huge improvement to their manufacturing um, strategy. Okay. So they managed by doing this, they increased their yields by 5% in the first year of implementing their neural networks by using AI to adjust manufacturing process based on real-time insights of the market demand. This enhanced their efficiency and helped maintain consistent output quality, right? Reducing waste and rework to the fabrication process. So overall, they improve product quality. And what we mean here by quality, especially the delivery deadlines. Okay? Okay. This is the case of Samsung. Now, our final case study, it goes, I really tried my best to keep Tesla case study to the last, but yet Tesla case study is the most case study impacted our life now and to the future. Because what they have done is they use not only deep learning in their manufacturing, but also in self-driving technologies, right? So they introduce like some types of self-driving. They include all the safety measures or measurements and technology in cars now, especially when it comes to the dead spot or dead spot, like if car coming from beside you and you cannot see it, emergency braking, and all of these things. Okay, all of these happened. All this technology improvement for our lives and safety and comfort comes by using their deep learning. Okay, so what they did in when it comes to manufacturing, they use somehow of sensors and cameras. They put it on all their gigafactories. All these cameras and sensors collecting big data to monitor assembly lines. That's what they doing. They collect big data of everything you might think of, or even you might be able to think of. People movement, how many steps from one to catch one tool, anything of types that could reduce the time and efficiency. All of these big data, they use it and to identify where are the bottlenecks and the issue they may arise and anything related to inefficiencies during the assembly process. So as you can see, there was a huge challenge for Tesla to do this compared to well-established companies or factories like Toyota. Toyota is well known when it comes to manufacturing with their management model, waste model, delivery of storage product, and all of these things. By doing so, they surpass and bypass, like achieve way better efficiency compared to the traditional continuous improvement models by Toyota without any types of prior experience. You can imagine like it's just a new company. Now sells a few cars compared to Toyota, worth maybe 5 to 10 times more than Toyota. I just want you to see the potential of using AI. Okay? So they did this by taking these deep learning models to provide instant feedback, allowing not only changing the people behavior, but also the machine's behavior, right? And the operator to adjust production parameters immediately. The beauty of this concept is will keep improving day by day. It will never stop improving. Because what they are using here somehow of not only by using big data, but by using some types of self-learning models, okay? That put them in competitive advantage and competitive advantage compared to their competitors. How? By continuously improving their efficiency. So they increased their production efficiency by 20% through real-time monitoring and automated adjustment, minimizing downtime and enhancing overall output. They had some issue related to quality and they fixed it. Some to a certain level. yet they still have some related to quality. Okay? And they meet the quality standard and reduce the deficit and rework. So they increase their quality and they cost savings so much when it comes to cutting operational costs. And by doing so, just to introduce you to what they have done or the impact of this 20%, they give them the advantage of using different types of materials to produce cars. As you may know, most of the cars are made of metal, or what they call steel, or aluminum, while they managed to use different types of materials in their Tesla Cybertruck, and there are like a certain number of their products. Okay, so they not only buy the efficiency, but also buy the materials. Okay, so now how all these companies, how they manage to implement all this AI. I will try to make it bigger so we can see it together. Okay. But before that, I just want to say the green one indicates the steps, while the blue ones indicate somehow the feedback from each step. Okay. So in order to implement AI, or how they did it, they started with data collection and preparation. They collect either historical data or real-time data through cameras, sensors, whatever they have. Okay. Maybe logs, APR system, all types of data. And they ensure the quality of these data. How? By using some type of tools to clean, normalize, standardize all the data sets. Okay? After they ensure the data is clean, they collect data, they clean the data. Now, they develop the AI models. After they develop the AI models, tailored to their manufacturing needs, not buying some software from third-party company, which comes with the inherited risks of inherited uh, customizations, challenges, and all of these things. They built tailored to their manufacturing needs AI models. And all these AI models, they need to test it. So they begin with something called pilot project to ensure that the model is accurate and reliable and all of these things. So after they develop the model, collect the data, develop the model, now it's time to ensure that the pilot implementation is somehow listing all the challenges they have. So they start with deploying a small scale pilot model. In this scale, they keep changing and adjusting they keep changing and adjusting in their model development. Okay, so they monitor the results, they collect the feedbacks, and all of these things. And after that, only after that, they went through the full-scale deployment. Here, they expand AI rollout, and they refine the AI models across relevant manufacturing units. Now, here is the thing. When the first stage of the full deployment or the full-scale deployment, the most important thing is to monitor the KPIs and the key performance indicators when it comes to effectiveness. Okay? So now they did deploy the full scale AI model. What to do now? The most important thing is continuous improvement. So here is the thing with AI, it will never stop improving. Okay? Because technology development in such a quick and rapid technology advancement we have every day. So we will have different types of barriers. So the way they do it, they keep using data integration to centralize their management and improving all type of errors. And here, with this technology advancement and the quick technology advancement, there will be always a gap between the skills of the employees and the technology development. So they ensure to keep the stuff all the time on the regular training. Okay. All of these to will reduce cost management, and they adopt some types of cloud-based AI solution to manage cost and scale efficiently. Okay? So yeah, this is how they do it. And if there is a case in the pilot implementation, there was some issues, they go back to the testing models. So this is the feedback line, okay? So any issue, for example, here, they have issue in the monitoring results when they implement the pilot. They go back to develop the model. The model is not stable yet. They went back to check the data. So this is the feedback line, okay? So the beauty of this feedback line that sometimes, even at the last stage, overcome barriers, it goes back all the way to ensure that the data is, they have a better quality data. And most of the time to introduce new data to the model. Okay? So this is the loop and this is the step development going through the feedback. Okay? Now, so what are the future trends and opportunities in AI-driven predictive analytics? So one of the most interesting parts is the digital twins. So digital twins is like a virtual replica of physical manufacturing process or assets. So they use like real time to improve decision making. So the idea is to create smarter and self-optimizing factories. The other thing is to integrate AI with Internet of Things. This is to increase the quality and the speed for connectivity. Okay? So we have greater operational efficiency through faster response time and predictive insights. So as you can see at the last stage in the previous slides, even the continuous improvement will go back to the type of data we have. So we will be always improving the data we have. And one of the things is by including the Internet of Things we'll be able to gather more data and process these data or transfer these data at a faster rate. Okay? Other thing that for the future is to using advanced machine learning algorithms, using some sophisticated models for learning and neural networks. So this one means that the AI models, they will continue learning and adapt to any type of changing in manufacturing conditions. This is what they are doing in Tesla, okay? The other thing, similar to the case of Siemens, where they use sustainable manufacturing, this helps them in regulatory compliance and brand reputation. Actually, I would like to share with you some of the projects I'm carrying right now when it comes to sustainable manufacturing, when it comes to AI, using AI in fishery and catching like some tuna fishes in Malaysia. So by using AI, we can ensure that no overfishing, adherence to the compliance when it comes to the what time to catch the fish, what type of disease the fish they have, when it comes to the quotas and all of these things. Okay. So the other thing is when it comes to using AI with the human to assist the human rather than replacing humans. This will be in the top management levels or sometimes goes to the bottom levels, even with starting from students all the way to the top management. Like as students, they can use AI in improving their assignments, improving their learning process, all of these things, rather than replacing teachers entirely, right? So it's a great assistant to teachers, for example, and to students as well. Okay. Okay. So now when it comes to the challenges, uh, one of the most and the most challenge is having inconsistent and incomplete data. What I mean by inconsistent and incomplete data that we might have so many types of data, but these data are not really related to each other, which hardly to use these data to predict the future. In simple words, we don't have all the factors or all the variables enough to predict the future accurately. That is one of the biggest challenge for AI in manufacturing right now. The type of data we have. How to improve this? It might be, but we can't improve it like 100%. But one of the ways to improve this type of data we have is to centralize data by using some types of centralized data management systems. And perhaps introducing all these type of AI now to clean the data and to predict the missing data and all of these things. Okay. The other thing comes, or the inherited challenge comes with AI is the higher implementation cost, especially when it comes to infrastructure and skills training. So how to mitigate this challenge or this risk is simply by start with cost-effective solutions, perhaps starting with cloud-based AI platforms, and then focus on the impact pilot projects. By doing so, we have like deliver quick return of investment before scaling up. So we can use the return of investment to scale up the business. Especially this being introduced recently in Singapore for small to medium enterprises. Okay. Now, the other thing which we may all face and keep facing is when it comes to skill gaps among employees. So as we know, with the rapid digital transformation and digital advancement, we have limited knowledge of AI tools and predictive analytics among staff. So to mitigate this risk, we can keep the employees under training, continuous training programs, and perhaps collaborate with educational institutions for the manufacturers to build AI expertise manufacturing team. To keep providing, this team will be used to keep advising and consulting to their management or stakeholders. Okay. Now, in most of the recent research, I can see in terms of business, when it comes from business point of view of our research, I can see most of the research now focusing on the resistance to change. But the resistance of change recently coming harder from management rather than employees. So one of the reasons to explain that perhaps managements, they carrying all the burdens of risk taking, where employees, they don't have that type of risk taking. They are not responsible for the business. They are not responsible. They don't have that type of shared responsibility. So for them, it will be way easier to use these tools compared to the management. One of the interesting case studies or interesting articles found that as a company, it's very hard for the management to allow employees to use AI chatbots, for example. While you can find some employees just to reply to one simple email, they feed the AI chatbot with all the sensitive information they have in their company just to reply a simple email. So you can see the different resistance come from different risk taking when it comes to employees and management, especially toward AI adoption. And one of the things when it comes to management is that all these type of resistance coming from the management, because still most of this AI are not regulated, especially when it comes to data privacy, the ethical practice, and all of these things. So as you know that not all AI are open source. Some of AI's tools out there are owned by private companies. And these private companies, yes, they sign the data protection, but they are prone to hacking, prone to all these type of things to leak their consumers or their users' data. The other thing, they might sell this data to their competitors, or even it might impact the country security level when it comes to public companies using of these types of AI tools. So the lack of regulations. Here's the thing. There will be always a lag between technology advancement and regulations. In order for regulation to kick out or to be effective, at first, there will be a stage where technology advancement, we see all the possible cases, and then regulation will become as response of all the side effects of the phenomenon. So there will be always a gap between the technology advancements and the regulations. And this gap is mainly increasing the level of resistance among management and employees. I would say management mainly. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the biggest challenge that faced AI manufacturing companies. Just to give an example, if you know SpaceX, SpaceX is a private company in the US, but they sign deals with NASA, which is a government-owned company. So by signing these type of deals, the government now all their information, or they are prone, or they must adhere to all the regulations of the public company they sign the deal with. Meaning that all their employees, they cannot even carry some types of phones, even to this level. All of them, there must be the phones made in the US. This is one of the examples, because now most of the phones, they have AI inherited in them, especially with the new manufacturing chips that focusing mainly on AI, not on graphic cards, like similar to the case like 5 or 6 years ago, right? So you can see the level of regulations, lack of regulations, and the risk that they might inherited from this. Okay, so that will put a huge resistance to change. The other thing, when it comes to employees resistant of change, uh, here is the things. Here's the thing. Employees want to use AI. They want to improve their like make their job easy, or make their job easier using somehow to assist the human AI tools. But all of these things will come at different age. So not all employees will resist to change like based on age. There will be a different resistance based on age, especially the new generation. They have less resistant to change compared to the older generations. Okay, so these are some things to keep in mind when it comes to hesitation and resistance among stakeholders toward AI adoption. So, how to mitigate or how to propose some type of solution? I don't think there will be a solution for this, but what they can use to highlight benefits of AI to the management using some types of real life success stories. Like if you are working in a small company, you can go to your board meetings and try to explain what are our competitors, either in your country or in different countries, similar industry events, how they use AI and how they benefit from it, and where they outsource this AI, how they did it, and the potential return of investment they made. All of these things will reduce the type of resistance. Okay. The other thing, when it comes from management to employees, is by involving somehow asking employees to, or giving employees some types of small pilot scale or small scale pilot projects to make them familiar, to build some trust toward AI use. Okay. So these are when it comes to supply and demand sides, when it comes to resistance to change. The last challenge is when it comes to the ethical practices. I think I already covered the regulatory concerns, huh? But here I want to cover the ethical practice when it comes to AI. We've seen so many cases recently where some employees, they sue their companies using AI assistant. They try to store their data using AI chatbots. So all these type of unethical practices, even trying to ask AI how to get a promotion, even it sounds fair, but as long as the information is not available to everyone, it gives some types of monopoly power to people who have the skills of using AI. So this puts some pressure on ethical practices. But here is the thing. The word ethics and most ethical standards, they are not updated and they are not updated to all types of ethical regulations and standards. So all the SOPs for ethical practice are based on outdated guidelines. It doesn't imply all these weird and new scenarios comes with AI. Dr. Paramount saying that AI is assistive in nature. The creative human intelligence is always superior. How AI will assist in developing creative intelligence? Well, thank you for your question. Uh, but there is a huge debate in the literature when it comes to human intelligence is always superior to AI. Because as I mentioned, I don't like to go back to the slides, but as I mentioned, with advanced learning, machine learning algorithms, here, number 3, with some types of sophisticated AI models, these AI models, they have the ability to learn. So they can learn and they can adapt to change, right? That's why we need some types of ethical guidelines and regulations for this type of advanced machine learning. The literature doesn't suggest that they will be superior because the word superior here is a little bit not clear in which way it will be superior. But in terms of decision making, yes, the AI will be way better than human intelligence because it will be based on big data. While human decision making could be based on big data, but it takes time compared to the AI, the machine learning. I'm not sure what do you mean by superior, but I think the literature try to tackle this question in different categories or different themes when it comes to how could be human intelligence superior. Okay. To answer your question, one of the challenges when it comes to ethics is that as we know that these AI models or machine learning models, they have zero emotions. Yes, by having the emotion, make the distinguish between a human intelligence is way superior in terms of decision makings because of emotions. Yeah, but when it comes to decision making or better decisions or perhaps accurate decisions, making better yields, less mistakes, yeah, I think the AI will be way superior than a human. Just take the example of self-driving cars. Self-driving cars will reduce the car accidents at death by accident by 90% compared to person driving a car. Just the introduction of the assistant braking saved 30% of death from people crossing the streets just by one small technology. So I am not sure what do you mean by superior, but as I mentioned, different themes, based on different themes. In some themes, AI will be way more superior. But when it comes to emotions and ethical practices and ethical judgments, of course, a human nature and the human intelligence will always be superior. I hope I answered your comment. So yeah, this is the big challenge when it comes to ethical practice, when it comes to privacy, and the other thing, when it comes to biases and AI models. I will give you a very good, interesting case studies. Harvard University, as you may know Harvard, they try to implement AI for hiring people. They found out people with color, including Indians and Black, the AI give them less salaries in their job offers. After they found out what happened, turns out this AI is based on the data, available data, or the trained data. And all the trained data based on the name only. Based on the name only, they could see the different gaps of payment. And based on that, the AI tried to mimic this behavior to become racist in nature. You can see how ethical challenge is there when it comes to like the absence of regulations. Because of this, Harvard has been sued and they try to settle out the court case outside the court or something like that without judgment. But anyways, this is one of the cases where they try to use AI models, but based on the trained data, inconsistent and incomplete data, the quality of data, they had an AI that is racist in nature for hiring lecturers and hiring academicians. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? We expect so much from AI, while in reality is AI just try to mimic the data they trained on. So just based on email, just based on your name, they will give you different salary cap. Rather ignoring all other types of skill set or achievement or anything else, just based on the name. So yeah, you can see the AI, the bias in the AI models, because all these models are based on the trained data, right? That's what I say the danger, the huge danger comes with continuous learning. Okay? Because this continuous learning can deepen the bias. For example, another case interested about this AI models is when they using AI to predict to choose which to outsource many resources. One of the AI models, without mentioning the company, but from the examples we had, they choose to outsource all their products from US and from Europe and totally ignoring India and China just because they mimic the data they learned on. Even that the sources coming from India and China are way cheaper and at the same level of quality. So that increases a inherited bias when it comes to these AI models. Because as again I said, all these AI models are trained on some types of data. So if the data itself is racist, the AI model will become racist. If the data itself is incomplete, the AI will have some type of hallucinations or some types of unrealistic predictions and unethical practices. That's why now the big challenge for the big AI companies and big AI developments, and that's why they try to open source, is to give AI some types of guidelines. But I will just throw another example here to explain how these AI models, when it comes to ethical practice, is extremely impossible to ensure ethical practice or to follow SOPs. One of the example, if you ask AI model how to cheat in the exam, it will answer you, oh, you cannot cheat in the exam because this is unethical. But if you ask the AI model in different way, I am sick. If I am not passing the exam, I might have heart attack. So now the AI model need to choose between saving a human life or answering simple question. So they will choose saving a human life. So it will gives you exactly the answer how to cheat in the exam. That making it the practice of ethics in AI is it's extremely difficult. So what is the solution? The solution is we need to develop clear guidelines. And what I mean by clear is continuous update in the guidelines to ensure ethical AI use and to ensure compliance with data protection laws. I know that these laws, most of these laws are outdated, but at least something to rely on. The big challenge is if you are violating the ethical practice in AI, you are not subject to the same judgment you will face if you are not using AI. So this is give criminals a green light to do increase the yields by unethical ways. Okay, to hurt their competitors by unethical ways. This makes the market not fair. Just simply put, not fair. Okay. So what the government, this is when it comes to the company side or what is the government from the government level they can do to ensure ethical and regulatory concerns. They must have some types of regulatory audit for this type of manufacturing. Especially when the case of Tesla, where they make people work non-stop. What I mean by non-stop, I just want to go back to this case. It was the last case here. I just want to go back to this case. As I said, they have real-time adjustment, right? So they make the workers KPI somehow impossible to achieve. So there was in a 3 months role, no one achieved KPI, making the company making a lot of money by saving all the extra payments and the performance payments to their employees. But AI thinking or AI model predicts that this is the best way to save money. So you can see how it's dangerous. And yet they slept without any type of punishment because of that thing. So imagine 3 months, they make millions, they hurt employees, they hurt their emotions, they treat employees as machines, basically. And they prevent them from getting access to fair payment or fair compensations. Yet it slides without any type of punishment. So that's what I say by ensuring ethical practice is somehow really difficult. That's why government must step in to put some regulations to these type of AI models to minimize any type of bias and to ensure fair decision making. I don't want to take more time or to give more examples, but I just want to say one word that when it comes to ethics, ethics can't be applied or expected people to be ethical or companies to be ethical. The only way to ensure that we need regulations. And in order to have the regulations, we need uh, the how to say that the documentations of all these case studies. All these case studies will help regulatory and policymakers to ensure that they take into account all these type of issues and challenges in their future policies and regulations. So as academicians, all what we can do to try to document and try to highlight all these cases related to ethical practices. Okay? Okay, these are some of the challenges and somehow or some types of solution that we may use or counterpart to counterpart these challenges. Now, some of the key ways, key takeaways, and next steps is that we know that by now that AI predictive analytics can enhance efficiency. And this will be by successfully implementing regulator implementation require strategies that we know that the steps and the feedbacks. And all of these will be enhanced even in the future by focusing on the emerging trends like Internet of Things and all of these types of integration, while ensuring ethical collaboration, or by ensuring that ethics and collaborations are essential. Okay. Now, what we can give to the faculty development program. So as our output of this resource, I may provide some suggestions as to first thing I will say, strength partnership. So the faculty may partner with companies like Siemens, which is located in Gargon. If I'm correct me if I am pronouncing it wrongly or correctly. Guru Gram, is this how to pronounce it? Guru Gram?
Yes, sir. That is
Okay.
Gurugram.
Okay.
Yeah. One of
Gurugram,
our
thank you.
neighboring cities. Yes.
Yeah, so Siemens located near to your campus, right? So perhaps some types of collaboration with Siemens for internship or following your mission and vision by industry integration and student employability. So you can do some collaboration with Siemens to ensure focused research projects, perhaps to get some types of research grants and collaboration to advance the ABS goals. Okay. Other ways is to integrate all these type of digital transformation initiatives into the integration like into the program syllables. Okay. Other way is to aligning with the industry needs, ensuring that the skills of the graduates are matching the market needs. Okay, this we can take the case of BMW for their quality control into faculty training workshops. So we can take all the training or the regular training done by BMW to their employees to prepare educators to develop skills relevant to industry for okay. Okay. Now I would like to share with you some of the resources and learning that I encountered during my preparation of this talk. One of the books that coming from Willie is Predictive Analytics, The Power of Predict. Who will click, buy, lie, or die? This is an interesting book to read. Okay, so you may just go through just like quickly, but it's present all the types of ethical challenges that you may face if during like implementing and how the future will look like. Okay. Another book is by AI in Manufacturing, The Key to Smart Factories. This one is a little bit more technical, but it presents steps to how to adopt AI. Okay. Another one by IEEE Explore Digital Library is to leveraging AI for predictive maintenance and Industry 4. This is where we get all the case studies. Huh? Another way for students and perhaps for educators as well is to go through some types of new introduced courses, online courses. There is one, and I found in Coursera, is AI for everyone. This is interesting to not only manufacturing, but to everyone working in the factory across all different positions in the company, in the factory, okay? The other one is by Udemy, where they do like applied predictive analytics in manufacturing. This one, they talk about how to develop AI model through machine learning, something like that, like how to see the inputs to the outputs. Okay. One of the insights that I find it interesting is the next era of manufacturing, AI and analytics, is by McKinsey Insights. And the other one is smart manufacturing and AI integration. Okay. These, I would say these insights will be for someone is not really have that kind of background and still new to this industry for and AI. So this would be easy way to get all this type of information in a quick and simple way to read it. Okay. So I hope all these resources and learning will be helpful to you. Yeah. So we came to our final thoughts and closing remarks. So what I want to say that AI predictive analytics is a game changer for not only improving manufacturing efficiency, but also increasing yields, reducing costs, and driving sustainable growth. Okay. The other thing is to try to imagine the future where I would recommend most of the companies you are working on to change or to update the mission and vision to include somehow AI to the mission and vision. By doing so, this will be reflected on if like an education company and their syllables and their research and the grants and all these types of things. Okay? The idea is to ensure that the production systems responds to market demands in real time. Okay. So whatever it takes in either way or in any ways of AI models or machine learning to ensure that your output is matching with the market demand. Okay. So just to summarize some key message to you is to, I know it might be challenging to start in terms of cost, in terms of resistance to change, But the way is to start small and scale gradually. Okay, this will be by the pilot projects and AI application and expand based on proven results. Okay, and one of the things that I will personally uh, always be supporting is to invest in people. Before we invest on all these types of AI, is to invest in people. Okay, these people can learn, and based on that, we can motivate people and will be a way better way. And the way success in AI implementation depends on training teams to work alongside AI systems. Okay, so all the team will be going together instead of like hiring external and trying to changing the structure of the company. Okay, so this is one of the way why I say invest in people, because it ensures to be ethical and compliant. Okay, and to ensure that all the AI models you are developing to be transparent, to be open source to everyone to double check. This somehow can highlight all the ethical challenge that you may face. Okay, and make you less prone to fines or court cases when it comes to industry regulations and sustained success. Okay, and again, invest in people, stay ethical by continuous learning, to stay updated with the last advancement of AI and the predictive analytics, to keep ahead of the rapidly evolving manufacturing landscape. I think with that, I conclude my presentation. I know I didn't take like all the time that I supposed, but I want to give more time for the questions and answers. Thank you for your participation. And again, thank you so much for having me here today. So back to you, Chair.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a privilege listening to you, and of course, what an enlightening experience. Yesterday, also, I emphasized the fact that let us develop a community together, be it online, like we are doing in an online FDP, but a community where it is motivated by continuous learning, sharing on a common platform, and of course, strengthening each other in the way of having done these things. And what better than sharing a technology which the academia fraternity often lacks? And that is why we are having this FDP from the people coming from the corporate sector and having a first hand knowledge about it. So, yes, in all ways, I found it very fruitful. And now I would request the participants that the forum is open for the discussions and queries. Sir, if you have 5 minutes, will be can we have some questions from the participants?
That would be great.
So
I am open to questions. Yes.
yeah. So either you can unmute and write it on the chat box, whatever feels convenient to the participant. The forum is open for discussions.
Very good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You have raised a very interesting point. In India or everywhere, we are struggling with the deep fakes. And when you talk about the ethical practices and when how to hide the truth behind the different narratives, or narratives means you are posting in different social media, and the truth will be buried under these bombardment of fake news, and how to identify or find out the real news. So that point I really liked it, and I think governments must be doing something regarding that. Uh, just want to ask you, have you come across any writing or any publication related to how any government is any government in the world tackling these kind of deep fake, because most developed countries, I think they are facing these kind of problems, including India, maybe due to various reasons. uh, because everybody is interested in India some way or other. If you have something in your mind or you have come across, please share with us. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. How I would say, I really want to talk about this, even it's out of the focus of AI and our
तुम्हारे ही हाथ लगा है सर
Manufacturing,
अभी
yes.
और तुम
yes,
कर लोगे सेफ
yes,
ड्राइविंग मोड पे आ गया भाई
in our
Uh,
manufacturing, but I really want to talk about this. I want to share like
कौन है
small case that happened recently with the 60 Minutes program in the United States, where they changed the speech of Kamala Harris uh, compared to the advertisement they had. So there was a debate. Is this something like did she did and like they use deep fake to make her speak or to change her speech? Or is it like she recorded again? Or is it so there was like a debate among like the listeners or the voters or among the community. Okay. So here is the thing. When it comes to deepfake, as I mentioned, all these types of technology advancement, they can't be regulated unless the regulator body see all the the negative externalities. So before they see all the negative externalities and they have it documented clearly, they cannot come up with regulations. So in order to update the regulation, there is a huge uh, responsibility on researchers. So
yes.
researchers are the key. All these advanced countries, as you mentioned, I'm not sure what do you mean by advanced, but let's say here by economically advanced, huh? Yeah,
Developed country.
developed. Okay. So by developed countries, what is the key difference between them and other countries like let's say Malaysia or India is that they are proactive in documenting all these cases. And by documenting and publishing all these cases, they give the regulators or the regulatory bodies some types of evidence to base their regulations on. While in other countries, there is still the research is not yet to the level where to attract the regulatory bodies, to include or to attract the interest of the policymakers, right?
Yes.
So I would say it starts with, or what the literature suggests is that it starts with documenting to acknowledge the issue before we start to suggesting how to solve the issue. We need to acknowledge the issue, define the issue, then we can go through all the regulatory updates and the law updates, or introducing even new laws. So,
I
yeah,
agree with you. We have to build up the base or foundation for policymakers to ponder on or think about what to do and what kind of challenges are in front of them. Uh, Great insight. Coming back to the manufacturing, security threat is always looming over. Earlier it was SCADA, and now we are talking about IoT or AI-driven. Although technologies are there, but I think again this is again a kind of research area. I think we have to work on. Yes.
so what's your question exactly?
Again, I just want to know your views regarding the security aspects of these manufacturing systems, because earlier there was a SCADA where we are talking about when we do the automation kind of thing, the security or hacking these kind of systems could be very challenging. Like we have in US, you can hack the entire electricity grid and run it accordingly. There's a case scenario in the movie, like I think Die Hard 4. Yes, so that's very typical. And coming to the age of IoT and AI, I think these again coming back to the square one. Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you again for
Mm.
putting on the real challenges.
Yes,
So
yes.
I would like to share with you and to all of you one of the case that happened between China and the US. So the US claimed that China somehow they hacked and they got the 5th generation fighter jet technology
Oh,
and they reduced some kinds of replicas. The thing is, there is no any base evidence to support this claim.
mm,
So what I want to say is when it comes to data privacy,
mm.
as you may see the current challenge between Canada and India now, right?
Yes,
All
yes,
of
yes.
these things with data privacy and it will be with the huge development of Internet of Things and advanced machine learning, it will
Mm,
be nearly impossible to tackle. There will be
yes.
always cases of privacy issues. Always be, this will never stop. But the way to do it, as we say, is to ensure that the country update their infrastructure when it comes to technology level, as well as uh, regulatory level. One of
Mm.
the I want to share with you like one of the fun case that in the UK, uh, the head of security, data security salary was minimum wage,
Oh,
which when in the one of the data centers. So imagine that the head of the data security is having minimum wage. What type of skills you will attract, right?
yeah, yes,
So,
yes.
so imagine that they could work in like I don't want to say company names, but they could work like in restaurants without any type of skills compared to head of data security of a data center giving minimum wage. So what type of skills or what type of people and level of uh, privacy, so you are giving all the reasons for this employee either to not work or either to become corrupted. You give
Yes.
all the reasons in the world for this.
Mm,
So why this happens? Because there is no clear guidelines when it comes to
mm,
all these ethical practices. And when, as well as the, as you may know, like in the UK, there is, when it comes to private companies, the government can only intervene with minimum wage. But the
mm,
idea is if they update their regulatory audit, if they have like some how to, which they have, some audit, they will ensure that these people will not be treated like that. Okay? And in that case, funny enough, that the head of security was not British citizen. So it was not a British citizen with minimum
mm,
wage without mentioning the nationality. Okay? So you can see that taking advantage of, but not in the correct way. So
yes.
all of this happens. That's why, because we are humans, and as long as a human emotion involved, it will be impossible to secure data in any case, in any type of cases. Okay, even if you are offline, totally offline, it will be somehow data privacy issue. Okay, but the way to do it is, as I said, begins with uh, defining the issues, documenting
Yes.
the issues, so giving the tools or the enough data and evidence for policymakers and regulatory bodies to act based on. Yeah, I hope
Thank
I
you.
answered
Thank you.
your
Thank you.
question.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening session. I know there are participants who would be willing to ask and discuss more, but unfortunately, the time is not in our side. So we already have our next speaker waiting. Um, from ABS and from the all, I hope from all the participants will agree with me that the session was not just enlightening, but it was really very engaging. And I did not see any participant going here and there. In fact, very many queries were also raised. So thank you so much, sir. A heartfelt gratitude from all of us at Asian Business School. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank you so much for your introduction and for your well
It's right.
organizing and sharing this session. And again, thank you so much for having me here. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Dear participants, it is now time to start without a further ado, I would say, to start our next session uh, with Professor Ramakrishna Yelamachalli, who is from Hyderabad. Sir is a professor and an experienced academician with 22 years of teaching and training in finance, statistics, and data analytics. Throughout his career, he has trained thousands of pgdm and MBA students and supervised several PhD scholars, contributing significantly to the field of business education. Sir has published very many research papers in international reputed journals, which are listed in Scopus, APDC, SSCI, and his work spans a range of topics that address contemporary issues in finance and data analytics. As rightly, as already told, the areas of expertise lies in finance, statistics, data analysis. Sir is proficient in using various statistical and data analysis software tools, including SPSS, MOS, Stata, eViews, Advanced Excel. And his contribution to academia has uh, nurtured many thousands of students where he shares his expertise in finance and analytics to succeed in their careers. Over to you, sir. We are so honored to have you here with us.
Dr. Navita, thank you very much. Thank you for your warm introduction. And before I start anything about this session, I would like to thank Dr. Sharmista, who actually invited me for this talk. And also I thank the Asian Business School for giving me opportunity to share some thoughts on this. Now, as you see on the screen, when Sharmista shared this with me, I was a little puzzled. This is you're talking about AI tools for Industry 4.0, and this is a faculty development program. It was a little, we can say, a confusing kind of a thing for me, because faculty, as a faculty members, our requirement of AI tools is entirely different than when you're talking about the industry. So it took some time for me to fuse these two things and to deliver something for a faculty. But let me see how is that I can do justice for this session. So I'd like to share my screen with you all. Yes, my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir. It is
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah. So the topic which is given to me is impact of AI in Industry 4.0. So the perspective is again, I'm going to with how the AI will help Industry 4.4, and a faculty. It is not for a faculty as an academician for your teaching, your research, or writing publications and all. But how is this industry? Because this helps you in two ways. Understanding that AI industry. One is that you can train your students and make them industry ready by using AI tools, and how industry is accepting it. First thing, and second is you can also act as a consultant to an industries where you can contribute for the industry development. And furthermore, you can also conduct a kind of a training programs for industry professionals where how this AI can be used. So these are the three core learning objectives from this session. Now, when we're talking about AI, today you talk about AI, everyone says, I know AI. You start from a school going a student, a class 3, class 4 student to a CEO of a company. Everyone says, yeah, I know AI, I'm using AI, and everywhere we see AI and all. Now, in such a scenario, when everyone is using the AI and everyone knows about AI, the differentiator is how effectively you use AI. Now, that's a differentiator in a sense. And how is that you can leverage on AI, that is your virtual assistant you call, or artificial intelligence is, I call it as an AI as an assistant. So how effectively you are taking the services of your assistant to leverage and to minimize your work, to minimize your efficiency, and be a more productive. So there lies the crux of any AI tools. So in this session coming few minutes, I'm going to discuss four things. One is that the introduction to the AI, what is the importance of AI and how it actuals. And when you're talking about industry 4.0, so I'll start with defining industry 4.0 because as an academicians, every one of you are aware of this, so I don't spend much time on that. But still, I just as an introductory, I'll talk about industry 4.0 and then AI and a value chain, the success stories, how the corporates across the world used AI tools during various levels of a value chain and how they benefited and all. Then just a brief introduction to the AI evaluation tools. Then when we are talking about AI today, popularly we talk about ChatGPT or in one other two cases Gemini and some one or two tools or two, three tools here and there. But now there is a plethora, a portfolio of AI tools which the industry can use. And for every purpose that you have an AI tool for that. So that evaluation, how it happened and all, I give you a brief introduction. Then we also look at what Gen AI can do for businesses. In the sense, how is it the businesses can leverage on AI and all. Then what is the generative AI value chain and few examples of Gen AI tools for the businesses. Along that, I also show you the portfolio of tools that you can see, look into them, and you can practice them and all. So this my entire session of around 1 hour 15 minutes covers these topics in general. So let us start with an introduction to AI. Now, when we're talking about Industry 4.0, so first we look at industry, yeah. So Industrial Revolution 1, that we call as IR1, Industrial Revolution 1, or you say. So this is a where actually the steam propelled the original Industrial Revolution. In the sense, first time when we thought that, okay, you have a coal, you have something, you boil water, from there you get a steam. Using a steam, you can run a machines. And then that is the first industrial revolution which happened. Then slowly we moved from a steel to the generating of a power or electricity. This is second generation. And third generation, most of the faculty members who are here, and we know this generation of generation 3, or you call as industrial revolution 3 or industry 3.0 or something. So this is where the automation of machinery happened and all. Today when we are talking about AI, we always discuss that AI will spoil the careers, AI will create unemployment, AI will just before somebody was talking about deep fakes, so and so forth. Many apprehensions are there related to the AI. I'll share my experience of technology adoption, that is Industry 3.0 kind of a thing. Way back around 40 years or 35 years back, in India, the IT revolution started. And before that, when you go to a bank to draw a money, whether it is a 10 rupees or a 5 rupees, first you have to go to a teller and give your passbook or slip, and with along that your withdrawal slip, and they takes use the withdrawal slip, then gives you a token, and you go and sit for somewhere, and after some time the teller calls your name or your token number, then you go give your token and collect the money. And in the back end, there are multiple people who used to work. The person who verifies a withdrawal slip, from there it goes to the another person who goes to backside rack. From there your original application form is opened and signature is verified. Then it goes to the PO who signs on it. Then it comes to the cashier. So this is a lengthy process which used to happen. And then happened suddenly the revolution of information technology, computerization of all things. And people started crying that, okay, by computerizing the banking transactions and all, people will lose their jobs. So similar things happen in many places, in telecommunications, in electricity, and in transportation, aviation, everywhere this happened, and people were afraid of that they will lose the jobs. But today, if you look at after 30 years, now I rarely remember when was the last time I went to a bank branch. In the sense, there was no need arised for me to go to a bank branch. Everything starting from if I have to change my address, new ATM account, any transaction, everything has been digitalized. And uh, so many things have happened. Now, because of the evolution of technology and all, will not lose jobs. It actually creates employment. And now it is the same with the AI, which we are talking about. AI 4 or AI 4 IR or 4.0. This is a concept first coined by McKinsey. McKinsey consulting company, which is talking about AI for Industrial Revolution 4.0, and it now talks about the cyber systems, cloud computing, intellectual computers, artificial intelligence, and then your machine learning tools. All these are what you call as now part of your AI. And maybe many of you in the recent time when uh, our beloved Ratan Tata demise, Santanu Naidu was talking about a one concept, that is a lighthouse. So he says that Santanu says that Ratan Tata is my lighthouse. Now the lighthouse, the concept of a lighthouse is also coined by the McKinsey. McKinsey, what it is it created a global network of industries, and where any industry from a completely transformed into a digital, that organization is called as a lighthouse. Tata Steel was one of the first lighthouses in the country. That means uh, completely tech savvy and futuristic. And Shantanu says that Ratan Tata is so much of digital savvy, tech savvy, and futuristic and all. That's why affectionately he calls so Ratan Tata as what you call as a lighthouse. So the lighthouse concept and Industry 4.0, these are the two concepts which has been coined by the McKinsey, and from there they started giving consulting, advising, and services to the corporates to become a global lighthouses. Now, when it comes to the Industry 4.0, it brings a lot of innovations in here. So I'll give you some examples of innovations technology. Now, one is that uh, when you're talking about this, we have a cloud computing or cloud technology, the internet, the blockchains, the sensors, using the blockchains, blockchain technology, we have a cryptocurrency. There are many other tools which has been there, and internet now, the other day I was looking at India has got almost 90 crore internet mobile subscribers, of which around 40 crore are rural subscribers with mobile internet. And a lot of things are happening on internet, especially using entertainment, social media, and all. So now you say that AI is there even in a remote villages, right? So the things that happen here is one is the analytics and intelligence. As just my previous session, the professor was handling on advanced analytics, that is the predictive analytics. All those are your advanced analytics. Then you have a machine learning. Then very importantly, the artificial intelligence. So these are the what we call as a new age Industry 4.4 requirements. Then you have a human interactions. We are talking about virtual reality, augmented reality, robotics and automation, autonomous guided vehicles. I guess recently the Tesla's automated guided vehicle crashed, but one day or the other day, people will develop an automated guided vehicles. And augmented reality, virtual reality has rooted across the industries, especially in a real estate or in product services and so on and so forth, entertainment and all these are there. Robotics are there. Even public sector enterprises like Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, BPCL, they are doing a funding for building a robotics where they can explore oil. One is that, and second is that they try to find out using robotics if during the pipelines or gas supply, wherever if there is any difficulty, challenges, they are using a robotics to solve those problems. So that is areas. Then you have advanced engineering like 3D printing and all, renewable energy, nanoparticles. One sometime back when an engineer was talking to me and saying that you're using a 3D printing for something. And I was wondering what is this 3D printing. So I thought it is like a as a novice of engineering and all, I thought 3D printing is like something like a 3D movie where you use a specs and it is you can watch. But the technology, 3D printing technology is entirely different in the sense the machines are made or any manufacturing unit, especially so suppose if a component has to be manufactured, now instead of using a assembly line kind of a thing, a design is incorporated to the system. All the raw material is poured and the this 3D printing device machine is used to manufacture automobile components or any other component. So these are the various ways, in the sense, various areas where the industry 4.0 is happening more. So look at some examples here so that it will give you more understanding. Now, the delivery chain, value chain analysis, supply chain planning is one area where the companies report decrease in inventory somewhere around 10% to 20% inventory decrease. Now, there is nothing new in this. When we are talking about supply chain as a management school, management faculties, we all know that, okay, there is just-in-time technology is there, then LIFO methods, and many other tools are there, which actually we are using it to minimize the inventory. But now here, this is a more advanced way of a predictive analytics kind of a thing, where your artificial intelligence will help you to minimize. So, for example, Agilent uses suppliers' performance indicators and supply chain stats information to predict material availability, enabling a cross-department proactive response to supply chain risks. And another company, Ingresys, uses order history and market data to predict customer orders more accurately than provided forecasts. So that means the same thing which we are doing there now is with we can do with it a large volume of our data, and where we can create a multiple models where you have on one side or order history from your customers, and second is a market data. Market data is, if you have a market data, you can also know that how the demand for your customers are going to happen. So this is one area, and then it's your supply chain management, supplier level increases. Unilever has automated inventory replenishments using a model trained on data such as previous days sales orders, stock target. Now this is another application. As now you are done with the predictive analytics, maybe you have covered all these things. Then area is production scheduling is another area. Then process optimization, how effectively you can optimize your processes and all. Then you have a asset management, overall quality of assets, Aramco, in the sense assets. Here we are talking about how is that a company manages its resources. Then quality testing, assembly lines, delivery. So everywhere AI is helping organizations to increase or to enhance their productivity. And all these companies which I'm mentioning, like here Aramco or Caltel, Wipro or China Resource Building, these are all our lighthouses, as McKinsey defines them as they are lighthouses. Now just look at the delivery here, an interesting point here. So China Resource Building material technology leverages adaptive algorithms on top of a 3D digital modeling for non-touch pickup customer orders, including flexible cement bag load and planning and execution. So this is the entire delivery process is completely automated with the help of AI. So these are the simple caselets or examples of how AI happen, or how AI is helping organizations to improve their efficiency, minimize their costs, and so on and so forth. Now we'll have a simple outlook on the generative AI evolving rapid, or how this happens. Now, the world came to know about generative AIs for the first time during 2020 when GPT-3 was released, and then that time it was a revolution. People started, okay, this is a uh, text GPT or generative AI, which say that people say that, okay, anything that you ask now, life become very simple or easier. Now we have a Google. So instead of going for a Google, now we have a GPT. Then comes in 2022, GPT 3.5, which most of us using now. Its extension is 0.4. Then at the same time, similar time periods, we have a Cohere, which releases the first large language model. All the generative AI tools works on a large language models. In the sense, they call it a large language models. So when say a GPT, it trained. That is, GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformers. That means a huge volume of data, some trillions of bytes of data has been embedded using a cloud, and this algorithm of GPT change that whole set of data and gives you the output. So that is a generative. And next is a pre-trained. Why we calling it pre-trained is there is a supervised trained or unsupervised trained. In case of unsupervised trained, the data keep on going and the machine learns from it, from its challenges, difficulties, and all. In case of a supervised, there will be individuals or analysts who keeps on telling what is right, what is wrong to us. So that's how. And in addition to that, this generative AIs, the advantage is that whenever you make a question or a query to it, so by in the process of answering your queries, it will learn. In the sense, you give one question and give us some example, it will record it. So next time when you give so similar example, using a similar example, so that's how this generative AI. So it keeps on generating, and it learns from what it initially did. So as so many number of individuals are now across the world are interacting with the generative AIs, so and all the prompts that we are giving to generative AI is helping it to learn more, and that's how the proficiency of a generative AIs are increasing year after year, year after year. Then we have a large language models from Google, PAM, and this is exclusively used for clinical knowledge and all. Then we have Amazon's COT. Then we have Microsoft Cosmos. This is again a large language model. Meta's Llama. This is another large language model. Now, gradually, by the time you come to the 2023, so we have a Salesforce which generated an Einstein exclusively to leverage customer relationship and engagement tools. This is a specific set of a generative AI. Even IBM has got its own generative. Then OpenAI's ChatGPT-4, which is now a commercial one in the sense to subscribe and pay and use it. Then Anthropic Claude. This is very popular among the academic research. So a lot of academic research in the sense used. And Claude, the advantage of a Claude is it is a standalone. It is not connected to the internet. Whereas other like a ChatGPT, your Gemini, or your Salesforce, these are all dynamic and connected to the internet. So any update happen in the internet, available data is available on the internet, it captures. Whereas Anthropic's Claude is a standalone. It is not connected to internet. It has its own repository. So only when you upload files to its repository, only from that repository only it will create. Then the Bloomberg also has its large language model to train financial data. Google releases Brad. Now Brad become Google's Gemini, and Microsoft has its Copilot. So, and Amazon now it's Bedrock. So these are all various what you call as AI tools which are actually helping them. And all these tools we call them as their foundational models. foundation model, and in a foundation model, it is a large language model. So once when we say that a foundation model, it's a core model or a basic model which has been built based on a foundation model. Now people can start building a latent models. So any tools that is exclusively working for a specific requirement using a previously data foundation model on that, then we call them as the latent models. After some time, I'll show you what are the foundation latent models in Chat GPT, that is OpenAI models. And in addition to that, now corporates are also having SLMs, small language models. When we are talking about a large language models collects the data from anywhere on the world, like it's a library, online, internet, everywhere and everything they put. Whereas the small language models are for a specific purpose or especially for organizations. So let us take, for example, State Bank of India is there, and State Bank of India, it has got its own data, its own customers, all these things, and which it can't share it with the other public. So what State Bank of India did is it has got its own small language model. That means entire data of a State Bank of India is used to analyze and is used to create a prompts and queries and used for applications. So specific in the sense the companies large volume where they have large data and they want a specific inputs, they are building a models on a small language models, so that it depends on only on their models. And for this what they are doing is they are creating their own prompt libraries. So these organizations are creating their own prompt libraries, anything in the sense what kind of a queries that customers are asking, what kind of queries that they can ask, what kind of queries that their human resources are asking. With that, they're creating a prompt libraries and using a prompt libraries, what are the existing data that they have, and they are building models. So these are the foundation models. Now, yeah. Then what is it the Gen AI can do for a business? So here, the generative AI, the tools for the businesses. Now, earlier when we were talking about, we have only a text generated AI tools, like a Chat GPT is a text generator, Claude is a text generator, and uh, Gemini is a text generator, Copilot is a text generator. I can say that was the text generators earlier. Now they also have a lot of features embedded into it. So what is that now they can do is now there are tools which can create a broad range of content, including image creations, like a DALI E is there to create images, Picasso is there to create images, and we have a video content analyzers. Now, if you have a video with you, then upload the video, then it will create a, uh, it will analyze the content of the video. In the sense, suppose if your customers are arriving to a store and you capture, or you have CC cameras embedded into your organization or your stores, retail outlets and all, you have a captured video. That capture video, you can analyze and try to find out the insights from it. In the sense, what customers are coming, where they are going. If take for example, a retail outlet is there. So customer entered into a retail outlet, and your camera can track the customer until he leaves your store. So where he went, how much time he spent, which product catalog, which is there. So entire thing is a video captured. Then there is a software called as some types of a software which do this video content analyzers and give you a description saying that what is it the customer did and where is the what you call as points where the customer spend more time and the spending of more time there and the probability of buying a product and cost. So all that can be done. Then we have a audio content analyzers based on the content. Let us say I'm taking a session here. So this all the entire content recorded here can be used and analyzed, and we can have a summary of my session. So at the end of the session, so all this recorded audio put one place and say that analyze my content or give a summary of this entire presentation. That's the one. And second is you can also see that based on the way I presented, based on my voice, you can also make a prediction of, or you can say that try to analyze my behavior also. So that is also possible with audio content analyzers. So whether how I'm normal, I'm arrogant, I'm angry, all this can be analyzed using audio content and computer coding, like many if you're writing a programs and all, it will help you to codify, write codes and all. Now practically coming to it, what is that we can do is we can classify, edit, summarize, answer questions, draft new content, so on and so forth. Now, one is that how is it you are classifying? Many organizations, let us say, especially in these days, we are seeing that hoax calls and people are making a calls to the customers and doing the what do you call as tracking the accounts of the customers and drawing the money or making a threatening call, so on and so forth. And we have a marketing. So all these fraud or unsolicited calls can be minimized with the help of AI tools. In the other day, I was reading in Hyderabad, and Airtel used this AI, and almost it stopped about 1 crore calls, phishing calls, or you can say as a this kind of a fraudulent practices calls or messages. They filtered. So that's a volume of transactions that can be filtered or detected using AI tools. Similarly, banks can also do a prediction of and most of the times banks are using the AI tools for PLML, that is the prevention of money laundering, where foreign country, these all places where it is used. And then if the same can be used, like a customer care manager can generate AI tools for audio files of customer calls and based on a caller satisfaction levels. Now, whenever you make a call to your customer, any of whether you are mobile subscriber or any place, they clearly you will hear some instructions saying that the call is being recorded for training purposes. In the sense, whenever you are making a call, your call is recorded, and based on a conversation that you had with your client service executive, one is that instead of again the manager listening to your voice, just simply the audio content analysis will go to the manager, and it gives you a report whether the customer is satisfied with the employee's conversation or not, or why customer is not satisfied, what is the level of intensity of a customer's agony. All this can be analyzed with the AIs. Then you have edit tools like especially now advertising agencies, advertising companies are there. There are a lot of tools which they're using, like so people are now using a Canva. Canva is a one tool. Earlier Photoshop is there, Adobe is there, but now we have a AI tools which are doing the same work. It's much faster than any others. And then you have a graphic designers can remove outdated logos, clean them and all. Then you can also summarize the contents, like as I said, the video based contents can be summarized. You can have analysis of those. Then now you also have an option that what we do is when we have a data with us, so we put that data into Microsoft Excel, and using Excel we used to draw pie charts or diagrams and all, or we go to any other statistical software to do this. Now, if you have a data with you, you can upload the data to any of the AI tool and ask it to give a presentation. It will give a presentation for you. That is also AI is doing that. Then it also answers the questions. Like as I said, State Bank of India has got it creates its own form library. and then customers can interact with it or employees can interact with it and get questions from there. And chatbots are very popular. Almost every financial institution has got a chatbots. Then you have drafts, like AI tools can draft your emails, AI tools can draft your copy for content, AI tools can draft your meeting, minutes, then campaigning. So many things can be done with AI tools. Then we look at the value chain of AI. So we'll start with yeah. For AIs now, the basic challenge that the AIs are facing is with its chips. So NVIDIA is one which is very aggressive in designing, and all the transformation which is happening today, AI, it is because of the chips developed by the NVIDIA. So they are using a graphic processing units, and then from there, now you have a platforms on cloud computing. Again, you don't need to have a data is hard disks and all to store the data. This is also fueling the AI growth. Like you have your platforms, cloud computing and all. Then you have a foundational models. All this we are talking about ChatGPT, GPT-4, Gemini, Claude, then all u.com and Copilot, Microsoft. These are all what you call as the foundational models. Then you have a model hubs and ML ops, that is machine learning optimizers. Now earlier we have a machine learning tools. Now we have machine learning optimizers. Then it is going to be what you call as applications and services where AI can be used for a training, feedback, so on and so forth. So these are all the theoretical aspects of generative AIs. Now I say that. So here, these are the tools which actually help you. I'm just giving you a few tools here. Then I'll show you, demonstrate you more tools. So copy.ai is one website which helps you to write a copy, in the sense if you are writing a content. So I guess my limit has been blocked. Just let me check this. I'll show you. So copy.ai. So if you go to copy.ai, and here using this copy.ai, you need to log. Initially, it is just for a certain amount, it is free. But now all the tools which helps for the businesses, they are all paid versions. No, you don't get a free ChatGPT and all. You will not get free, but these are all paid versions. So enterprise account, you have to buy this. Then you have another AI tool which helps you to remove backgrounds. Many of the times we have images which we collect, and our company collect images from many. There are hundreds of websites which provides you images, all right, free images or photo stocks. So from the photo stock, if you download any image, let me say, just I'll show you photo stock websites. So Pixel is, then there are hundreds of websites, Pixel Bay. So these are all the photo stocks, in the sense you have hundreds of photos available here. Yeah. So like if you're downloading these photos and you want to remove a background of these photos, then you have a tool called as a remove.bg. So like if you go to remove.bg, simply you upload any photo. Right here, just simply upload your photo, any of your photo you have. And then ask it to remove a background. It will remove the background and gives you. So that's how, in the sense, the efficiency increases. Then to analyze the content of a video content, you have a repustate.com, which is a video content analyzer. So in addition to Repustate, you have a multiple others also. What we can do is you can search here like this, Google, then Repustate alternatives. Repustate AI alternatives. You can search, or you can also search like video content analyzers. So Screen App is there, Eden AI, then Viernova. These are all the websites which are AI tools which help you to do a video content analysis. Then you have a social media content analysis. Nowadays, companies are looking at how, in the sense, the customers are reacting to their services on social media, the responses, so and so forth. If you're analyzing this, then you have a audisense.com, which is a social media content analyzer. Then you are writing a messages, social media messages, or you're writing a text messages, mails and all. Then a clay is one another. Now this is one set of where you have a multiple. What I'm trying to say is there are now umpteen number of AI tools which are available for the managers or business professionals to practice and to minimize the proficiency. And I'll show you to the new world that is, I guess many of you are aware of this also. So let me chatgpt.com. So maybe the session is going. How many of you just drop a chat here? How many of you use GPT, chat GPT? Just a kind of a teasing question in the late evening. Raise your hand. Okay. Almost, yeah. Yes, all right.
I guess many will be using search today to even a school student is using. So
Chat
I
GPT.
really doubt someone who is unaware of this.
Right. So there is no one. Now, the question is, how many of you explored the GPTs? When you open a GPT, chat GPT, there is something called as explore GPTs. How many of you are aware of these this option? Explore GPTs. Explore GPTs. Yeah. No. Anyone? No. Yeah. All right. So GPT, as one of the participants was saying, that everyone from a school kid to everyone uses a GPT, and that's what in my introduction also I said. Today, everyone knows about AI. The differentiator is how much you know about AI. So that is fact. So here, next time when you go to a GPT, instead of using a GPT here, just click on a explore GPTs. Now, once you have explored GPTs, here you can see a lot of GPTs which are working for you. Like, so a trending is image generator. You have image generating tools, Write for Me, Scholar GPT, Canva, logo creators, or by ChatGPT, you have a DALI data analyst. Then hot modes, just now I'm talking about, now you don't need to do any analysis of a data. If you have a Excel, have a data and all, you can use the data analyst here. And this will work for you in a sense, right? So this data analyst will do all the job for you. So it will analyze And then you have other more tools here. So these all the tools which I'm talking about are latent models. So OpenAI ChatGPT is a foundational model. Using its foundational model, we have developed, in the sense, different individuals have developed this different tools. Like these are all the various tools on writing. Now you have a writings. So you have AI humanizer, humanized AI, copyright GPT. I show you a copy.ai there. Here also you can use a copyright AI. Generate text to video maker. So you have a text, use the text and it will make videos for you. Or then CV writers, then academic assistant pro, Instaguru, and productivity. So presentation slides you can use here, and more uh, tools are there. And in addition to all these things, if you are enthusiast and if your organization is planning to create a AI tool of your own, so like how many are doing, and as a teachers, academicians, we are also doing many tools. Or if a company, specific company wants to have a tools, it can they individuals can do a here you can see that onto the right corner you have a create button. So this you will get with a chat plus by paying around 2,000 rupees per month. You will have an access to this using this create. You can create your own GPT. All right, any tool that you want to have, you can use academics video summarizers. Yeah, as I said, you have a video summarizer here. Then PDF text summarizers are there. So lifestyles, these are all multiple latent models that you have. And similarly, you go to gemini.com. Gemini has got a gem manager here. I guess Gemini you are all using, but Gemini also has a gem manager which gives you certain tools like a brainstormer, career guide. But these tools, like the best of these tools can be availed or can be benefited only on a paid versions. So free versions will not help you out. The paid versions will actually train. Now using these tools like your Gemini or ChatGPT's versions, you can train your students, let them be industry ready and understand what industry requirements. Even for the small tasks also, you can guide your students saying that, okay, this is a task, this is a AI tool. Using this AI tool, now start working on this. So predictive analytics, social media. Here you have a song makers, programming. So hundreds of latent AI tools are now available. So all these tools are based on the foundation models, and for every purpose of the business. In addition to that, specific requirements of industries also we have AI tools which are available. So these are the things that are from my side. Now I'm open for any kind of the queries, questions that you have from your end. I try to answer them to the questions which are possible for me. Rajishmita, you raised your hand.
Sir, we have received a question on the personal chat. If you allow, can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Sir, the question is how to manage the human disruptions.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. I think this is the question.
Human disruptions.
How to handle human disturbances in AI environment. Like we often see that AI, this is asked by Dr. Dharmendra Mehta.
Mhm.
So we often see that AI is sometimes giving answers on the basis of previous queries of previous question askers or whatever. So sometimes it may happen that it deviates from what we are actually looking for and is giving answers on the basis of their previous experiences or previous questions.
Yeah.
Is there any tool or anything so that we can minimize it?
The only option that you have to minimize the system errors is you need to be well versed with the prompt engineering. Since the prompts, the AI tools,
Okay, okay.
yeah, they are trained on certain prompts what you give, and they give you responses. So there are umpteen number of prompts which helps you actually to guide your AI, and you can also create a frame. Let us say if I want to have a text, let us say I want a definition only about 50 words. Then I can tell to the AI saying that define this in a 50 words. So you are restricting it to the 50 words and it will give. And you can also tell the tone also. Suppose if I have a finance teacher is there, somebody is teaching a corporate finance, and you want it, you can tell that, okay, define a cost of a capital in about 50 words, then style Ashwatha Damodaran. So what the AI will do is it crawl the web and identifies various places where how the Ashwath Damodaran explained the cost of a capital, and it gives you the same structure. So that's how we can, because it's a
Okay.
machine. It understands the way you give an instruction.
So it basically depends upon how unique your prompts are,
Yes.
and it is basically the prompting which is there.
Yeah. The onus is on you. As we all
Yes.
studied in our communication class, where we
Mhm.
say that meaning of the message is the responsibility of the sender, not the receiver.
Yes, totally.
The
Yes.
same rule applies here. The same rule
Yes.
applies here. It is how you are
Yes.
giving instruction to your machine.
Mhm. So there is one more comment. Though we all use these AIs and chat GPTs and their related versions, but then we stop students and we often tell them not to use them. Sometimes we often see that it kills their creativity and the ability to think beyond.
Hmm.
Do you really agree, sir, or is it how the
If you
time is
permit,
changing? It is
if you permit
required.
me, I'll show you one document.
Yeah, please, sir.
Just which uh, 1 second. So recently, I'm teaching one course to my students. Just I'll show you. This is what. Can you see something on top of it, right side corner?
Yes, sir.
This introduction note is prepared using AI tool, plot data,
Yes.
edited through MS Office Editor.
Hmm.
So whenever I'm using any AI, I'm telling to my students that I'm using AI, and I'm asking my students to use AI
Okay.
because they are AI navies now, in the sense AI natives. So you can't uh, keep AI away from them.
I understand, sir, but
Yeah.
it recalls. Matlab, I remember my time when I was a student, and my father used to tell me that you should be very good with the numbers.
Yep.
And if somebody asks you what is 35 times 35,
Yep.
you should be able to calculate it mentally. And I often used to argue with him that why do I need to calculate when I have a calculator handy?
Yep.
Why do I do such mental work?
Hmm.
And I think this concept applies here as well. When a person can develop his own content, can have his or her own imagination open to the world, still, are we limiting ourselves to what the AI is generating for us or what the previous respondents are there? I think it is quite debatable, though I don't know how much right I may be.
No, Navita, this is perfectly good because see, if the AI is there and we are saying that hundreds of tools are AI, now how is that you know that whether they are working properly or not?
Yes.
Unless otherwise you have a hands-on experience, you burn your fingers, then you will
Hmm.
know what is the errors that the AI is giving. Then that may ignite a thought in you and how to build a much better model than that.
Surely, I agree with this.
So
But
that's
consider the case of the students who do not have that much of experience as of now. They are not aware whether the AI generated content is matching with what is the requirement or not.
yeah. Let them experiment. Let them experiment. Let
Okay.
them fail, and
Yeah.
let them learn. See, after a certain point of a time, they only wakes up with AI. They say that okay, instead of AI, I can write better than that.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. Okay. There is one more question from Dr. Pramod Kumar. There is a decline in cognitive intelligence among students when they are using Chat GPT. Um, I think this is what we were discussing. So,
Initially, I am also of the same opinion. Let us say, forget about the student perspective. I take my perspective. When I started using this AI tools and all, initially I was very fascinated, crazy about it, and using and whatever that the output that AI is giving, I was pretty happy with that. Then gradually I started thinking about why is this giving answer this way? Why can't it give you in a different way? Then I try to understand what is the science behind this. If you look at AI, I am not an engineer. I'm not a science student also, but I'm more fascinated towards it because two things attracted me in AI. One is the probability, that is the statistics which AI uses, and second one is understanding the behavioral aspects. So these two, the prediction of a word, vocabulary, and all these things, the AI uses, and the psychology, AI is built based on the psychological models, and then based on a probability. So once you start working on it and all, earlier my efficiency when comparing with the last some time back increased more, and now I'm able to do much better work, and my thought process also changed. This is my perspective in the sense by using AI tools aggressively also, my thought process has changed dramatically.
yes, yes. So it is personal to
Yeah,
every
yeah,
field and domain as well, I must say.
yes, yes. If I experiment one and I stop learning it, then it completely, if I rely on it, then my IQ may not increase. But if I challenge the AI and work on it, then it may be helpful.
Yes, yes. So yes, it is uh, like everybody's perspective.
Yeah,
Any more questions we may
Sir,
have?
one thing,
yeah, Pramod.
sir, I personally use these AI tools for writing one research paper in an experiment basis, and I use one pair of some tools, and starting to end, I have completed this paper within around 3 to 4 hours.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay.
With the literature review and everything, then I have used the humanize tool, and when it is run on Torrenting, it gives a 100% plagiarism. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one thing as a future, it's my experiment that if I use these acts and if it is giving me the correct nature for every aspect of even making questionnaire and the things of data collection and analysis also. Then my sincere thinking that where we are going, where thinking towards the day and night used to writing papers by studying the doing our efforts. And if a person can give this AI tool and it is published, then what is the credibility of research is going? Hello.
Yeah, there are things where I'm not sure whether you used AI as a co-author of your paper or not. In the US, in many places,
I
people are
have
writing.
not talked
Generally, what I'm saying is, when paper is published, paper is sent, they are mentioning AI as also a co-author.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So, yeah, that is there, sir. And yeah, I don't want to jump into the debate of let's say how far this is ethical, correct, so and so forth.
Yes, yes. Only that point is that. Hello.
Yep.
I think there is some disturbance.
Yeah.
Hello.
Pramodji, we are not able to hear you properly.
I have one question, sir. I have one question.
Yeah, please.
I have one question, Professor Mehta from Ujjain.
Sir.
Sir, earlier also in session, in the first session, also I had one question. How we can further increase the human competencies to face the AI disruptions in our social life?
Yeah. Sir, AI is created and built by human beings. So only differentiator is that now we go to a little bit of a psychology and a cognitive processes. Now from our school and we school days or childhood, we'll learn things in a little bit. So somebody says, okay, alphabet, this is A, this is B, this is C. That's how we are trained. And our knowledge is limited to our experiences. Now when it comes to the AI, it has got a terabytes of a data has been inputted into it. Simple is that for a human beings, we have some megabytes of a data has been taught us from our childhood, and AI has been taught on a terabytes. So when you have a terabytes of a data, how we are thinking it is also doing the same thing. Now the point is that the differentiator is the AI, what it learned or what it has been trained on it, it will do only that extent. But when as an individual, as a human being, we can do much better than that, much better than that. So simple, if you take any analytical tools, I just give you example as I shown you some analytical tools. You have it run some descriptive statistics, upload it to the AI tool, and ask it to describe it. It will describe it, but what it simply describes it describes only the numbers. It will not tell the entire story. So suppose if I'm conducting a training program here, and I have a 60 respondents here, many of the doctorates and all. But if I give this table to AI, it simply says that okay, you have a 70, 80 participants in your session. These are doctors. These are the description it gives. But as a human being, now I can, if I am interacting with you and all, okay, I can make a much better decisions, much better descriptions and all. So this AI will not do unless otherwise it understands the entire story. So don't worry that at no point of a time AI will outride human intelligence, because we know exactly what it is, and we are able to explain what exactly it is.
Sona bolo.
Anything that is given on a AI,
Sona.
it's only based on a predetermined only. Correct?
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I think Mehta sir, your query has been resolved. Though I had asked this question earlier as well, and it was from Professor Mehta only.
Okay.
I can see there is absolutely no other question here. Okay, so there is often that the content of chat GPT is sometimes not, in fact, it is not acceptable and rejected in the good journals. So
Yes.
that is one thing which is often debatable, and until and unless everybody opens their mind about it and are open to AI, I think this topic is always going to be there. So from Asian Business School and as a part of this FDP, and I guess from all the participants here, they would agree that this was such an enlightening experience, sir, to listen to you, and such hands-on experience to have been shared among us. So that is very rare. So thank you so much, sir. We are gratefully honored to have your presence here.
Thank you.
Dear participants, the list for the feedback form link is uploaded, and the link is being shared with you on the chat box. Let us have a look at what we have for tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have Dr. Renu Sharma with us, who will be taking the session from 6 o'clock to 7:30. Followed by we have another session tomorrow of Mr. Gaurav Gurbani. He will be taking our session from 7:30 to 9 p.m. So stay tuned, and we will be meeting again with such good experiences, good people coming to us and sharing knowledge on this common platform. Looking forward to meet you all again tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Navita ji. Thank you. Thank you so much.